And welcome into Pure Adrenaline Sports, everybody. This is John coming at you with a little MLB talk, especially some Mets talk. We'll look at the Juan Soto signing. We'll look at some of the other free agents that are still available, some guys that were on the Mets last year that maybe we might want to bring back this year. So welcome in, everybody. Some people already here, so let's say hello. Oh, where'd it go? Some people were already here, I saw. Darren was here saying, let's go Mets. What's up, Darren? Thanks for the shout out. Fitzy was here saying my Sox made a trade with the Pirates. We traded Valdez for some rookie ball prospect. So I did not hear that. I do have Twitter open. A couple things to get touch on before we get going here. Still a money gap in the Bellinger trade talks with the Yankees and Cubs. Per John Heyman, it's a matter of who blinks first, if ever. Still could happen, but Yanks also considering Alonso, Walker, Santana, Naylor, Lowe, and probably others. The Braves today signed outfielder Brian De La Cruz to a one-year non-guaranteed contract. Let's see if there's any other news going on. Bud's here saying, let's go Mets. Oh, let's get rid of that so we can see everybody's chat. There we go. Bud saying, let's go Mets. What's up? Yeah, so the big signing for the Mets and really all the MLB offseason so far, Soto signing with the Mets, yeah, with the Yankees. Yikes. Probably wouldn't be doing this video if that was the case. Jesus saying, or Jesus, forgive me, let me know how you say it. Soto contract will be a disaster like Lindor. Well, Lindor's contract's not a disaster. And what's a disaster about this? We have the second richest owner in all of MLB baseball. 15 years, $765 million with some options and some bonuses and stuff like that. There is a player opt out after 2029. Full no trade clause, a $75 million bonus, no deferrals, which I absolutely love, right? You see how the Dodgers are doing things, pushing all their money down to the future. Mets did not do that here, which I absolutely love. MVP bonuses as well. So I don't know. I mean, yes, fifth is the highest contract ever, 51 plus $1 million a year, absolutely. But I do not think it's a bad contract at all, especially when you have the second richest owner in the sport. So the Mets still need some moves, but let me know, chat. What do you guys think? If you're Met fans, what did you think of the move? Let's hear what you have to say. But latest notes, let's keep going here. They're still talking about Jimenez. There was a trade yesterday. Jeffrey Springs, absolutely loved Springs with Tampa Bay. Had him on my fantasy baseball team a couple years ago before he got injured. So I like the moves the A's have made this year. Now I think they overpaid for Severino, but MLB baseball as a whole has told the A's they got to start spending some of this bonus pool money they get from the rich teams. So they're absolutely doing that. So. All right. So besides Soto, some things that the Mets still need to do here. Need a first baseman. Alonso was our first baseman since 2019. I would love Alonso back. Live Tank subscribe. Let's go. Oh, I don't have that set up either. Hold on. Forgive me for 1 second. Let's go back over, make that a little bit bigger. And let's re-show that alert. Fitzy's chatting, Weed's chatting. Good, I'm doing good, Weed. How are you? Yeah, a little baseball talk just to get back into it here. Fitzy says, I think this was a great signing for the Mets. Only way it should be a disaster if he's hitting under 230 for the next 5 years. Yeah, like J.D. Martinez, right? I mean, the Mets didn't give him anywhere near that kind of money, but let's refresh that. Let's see. There you go, Live Tank. Thank you so much for subscribing. Weed says, "Oh, hello, John. Did not know you were live. How you doing?" Yes, sir. Hey, all our live streams are scheduled ahead of time and up on our YouTube channel. So let us know, Fitzy. I don't know if what you're doing, but if Fitzy, if you wanted to hop on with me, talk a little baseball, you have access. Gritty even liking the signing. Yes, sir. Throwing some popcorn there. All right, so let's take a look. Let's look at some of the other free agents while you guys are still waiting to chat it up here. We can get back into the Soto numbers if somebody wants to take a look. But let's take a look at some of the starting pitchers that are available. These guys are not ranked in age. These guys are ranked by what their AAV was last season. So let's take a look. I'm definitely not shining Scherzer or Verlander. I know there's Met fans out there that have been talking about maybe bringing those guys back. Absolutely not. No, thank you. A guy like Patrick Corbin, Charlie Morton, Corbin Burns, the big name that's still out there. A lot of people thought it was going to be San Francisco. Okay, Jesus starting to sound like a disgruntled Yankee fan. Soto's clutch throughout the season and postseason. Yes, sir. Fitzy says, I'm not doing anything today. Only thing I'm doing is watching this guy in a Jets hat talk about baseball. Oh, yeah, I had to run out this morning. I just threw on a hat. But let me come back over and look just in case. All right. So with everything going on, guys, let us know who you think. I mean, a guy like Jack Flaherty's available. Sean Manaea was on the team last year. Jose Quintana. Don't want Quintana back. Walker Bueller. I mean, what are we going to think? I mean, Bueller looked much better in the postseason than he did in the regular season. But I mean, the Mets need at least one or two more starters. Yeah, this guy acting like it's his money that he's shelling out. Some other positions. I think the Mets still need to add a little bit of bullpen help. I would love to have David Robertson back. Last year he made just under $12 million. I'm not paying him that much money, but that was somebody I'd be interested in bringing back. I kind of want Luis Castillo and Nick Pivetta. I want nothing to do with Pivetta. I would trade for Castillo. Depends on what Seattle's going to want to give up or what they're going to need. Oh, might need to take James Pack. I'm just going by what Spot Track had on their list. I don't know if he retired. I just went by all these graphics are from what Spot Track had listed. Yeah, Fitzy even said it. Weed Sports. No, you don't want Pivetta. Trust me, as a Sox fan, right? So the Mets really don't need a catcher. First base, here we go. I mean, what do we do? Do we bring back Pete Alonso? Turned down an offer earlier in the year. What was it? Five years, $175 million. They said. No, wasn't that much. I had it written down here. Let me look. 7 for 175. 7 for 175. I bet you he doesn't get that on the open market. Fitzy says he either strikes out a ton of batters or gives up 5 runs in 2 innings. Castillo and Manaea should be Mets targets. Agreed. But let's go back to starting pitcher. Darren, what do you think? Anybody else you would want on that list? I mean, Overpay for Burns, maybe. Flaherty. Flaherty's still 29. Weed says, I think bring back Alonso 5 years, $200 million. You're not paying Pete Alonso $40 million a year. Why would you pay Alonso $40 million a year? He's not worth it. I mean, Alonso made that last year. Alonso made $20 million last year, so you're going to have to pay him that, and he turned down 7 for 175, which is $27 million per season. So if he signs for anything less than that, it was a bad job of turning it down. But some guy's still available. Goldschmidt. Hey, if the Mets' plan is to go after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. next year, sign Paul Goldschmidt to a 1-year deal with incentives. Why not? Rizzo, I don't want Rizzo on this team. Christian Walker, I think Walker's going to want a multi-year deal, so probably not going to end up with the Mets. Carlos Santana, maybe, at 38. Definitely not Gallo. Definitely not Abreu. I really don't think the Mets need a second baseman, but Darren says, I would like Burns, but I don't think Stearns is going 8 to 10 years. No, exactly. I would love Burns too, and I'm surprised. I don't think he's going to San Francisco like everybody else does. If he was going to San Francisco, I think he would have already signed. Wait for your guys' comments. We definitely don't need a second baseman right now. Our minor league system's full of them. Our roster's full of them. Where do you think Burns will end up? I'm going to say Toronto. I'm going to say Toronto is going to make the biggest offer for Burns. But I don't know. Or maybe Toronto did make. I don't know what these offers are. Maybe Toronto did make the big offer, but he wants San Francisco to up their offer. Maybe I don't know. Right now, we don't need a shortstop either. Now, third base is a position we can look at because if you sign a third baseman, you can move. Oh, man, just lost my train of thought there. Yeah. So let's come back to third baseman. How about a DH? We're losing JD Martinez. I said something to Fitzy the other day. I gave out two players' numbers. Yeah, Vientos. Thank you, Fitzy. Yeah, Vientos. Had it and lost it right before I started. I was going to say Bregman, then I was going to say Vientos, and I lost it. But yeah, you could sign Bregman. Now 30 years old. I'm not going to give him a 5-year deal. Yep. Thank you, Darren, as well. Is Boston a place for Burns? I don't know. It doesn't seem like they like to give out big free agent contracts. They'll trade for players, but it doesn't seem like they like to give out those big contracts. But I mean, Fitzy could talk about that a little bit more. But Fitzy, I don't know. So could go Bregman at third. Definitely going to need a DH. JD Martinez no longer on the team. Mets are talking about trading Marte. So I don't know what they would do there. But I would love bringing a guy like Jock Peterson. That's your lefty. You can give some guys a day of rest as well if you need to. And then outfielders. A guy after Soto got signed, I thought would sign quick was Santander. I'm surprised he's still available. I'm surprised not signed anywhere else. Teoscar Hernandez, I think, is going to go back to the Dodgers, but we'll see there. But keep an eye on Santander because there's a chance that a team might take a flyer on him and try to move him to first base. But another guy that's 30, a lot of teams that are going to need a first baseman are going to wait. I don't think they're going to give anybody a big contract unless it's Alonso, because Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a free agent next year. So, and he already turned down what, $340 million from the Blue Jays. So, what about Bader? Well, Bader's a free agent. I guess you could re-sign Bader. Well, we already have two outfielders right now, Taylor and Siri, two center fielders. So, I don't think they'll bring Bader back. Let's look at. We can go team by team here as well. Let's look at the Mets. Met fans, who would you want to bring back off of this list here? Alonso. Alonso was my favorite player on the Mets. Don't get me wrong. I was crushing him all year long because of the season he had. And I said, you know what? After he hit that 3-run bomb in Milwaukee, I said, give him whatever he wants. Sign him. I'm not bringing Quintana back. I'm not bringing Martinez back. I'm not bringing Bader back. Brooks Raley. I might bring Brooks back. Definitely not bringing Ottavino back. Stanek, Drew Smith, Jesse Winker. I'd bring Winker back. I think Winker wants to go back to Cincinnati, but I don't know for sure. And Jose Iglesias is a guy I would bring back. Could play second, can play short, could play third. Could be another bat off the bench. So Weed's saying he'd bring back Alonso, Manaya, Brooks Raley, Winker, and Iglesias. Bring back Festa. Where'd Festa end up? Minnesota? Or is that the other Festa? It might be Texas. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm bringing Stanek back. He ended up in Texas. Thank you, Fitzy. So when you guys look at free agents, do you guys look at WAR? That's wins above replacement. So if I'm doing that, I would definitely be looking at some of the relief pitchers and see how they're doing here. Guy like David Robertson. Once again, if it's blank, it's because Spot Track did not have any information for him. Fitzy says yes and no. Leclerc from Texas is a free agent. Oh, he used to be good. I don't know what happened to him. Fitzy saying yes and no on the WAR. If you're going to give Bregman over $200 million, better off just bringing Pete back. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed, Darren. I'd rather have Alonso at first and Vientos at third than Bregman at third and Vientos at first. Let me check real quick, see if we have any news. Oops, where's Twitter right here? I was saying Fitzy's live stream last night in the chat. I was telling MLB's got to stop calling it the hot stove. There's nothing hot about their free agency. Sox are really interested in Bregman. Still haven't heard much on Arenado. I think Arenado's. Oh wait, he's with the Cardinals, right? They would have to trade him. I forget. I did see the list of people that he said he would accept trades to. The Yankees were not on that list. Hey, Bruce saying hello, Met World. So I thought we'd be getting more news by now, but that's all right. Let's go back and look at some teams. Let's look at why Fitzy's hanging out in the chat here. Fitzy, your Red Sox have Jansen as a free agent, Pavetta, Paxton. Now you said Paxton off the list. Why did Paxton retire, or did Paxton sign? And I didn't update this. Chris Martin, Luis Garcia, Lucas Sims, Rich Hill. Rich Hill's 44 years old, and Brad Keller. Keller's less than 30, but they had no information on a contract for him. So, wonder what the Red Sox actually need. It looks like pitching. That's it. Right fielder now. You lost your right fielder. And a first baseman, maybe? Oh, Paxton said he was going to retire. He suffered an Achilles injury last year. Gotcha. But how about some of these other pitchers? Pavetta, you said no because you don't know if you're going to get a bunch of strikeouts or a bunch of runs. I guess you could really say that about any pitcher, but oh, you're doing what I did not look at. Where's the free agents? The Juan Soto contract. Let's look at some of the other free agents that have signed. Max Fried gets a big deal with the Yankees, $218 million over 8 years. Oh, I forgot Willie Adames. Bruce says one good thing about Soto is we got him and the other contenders did not. Right? And I love seeing the Yankee fans melt down, man. The guy was with you for one season, told you when you traded for him that he was going to test free agency, and everybody knew all season long, all the experts, past and all those guys, all said Soto's going to the highest bidder. Then it's all fun and games and jokes when it's the Mets. Fitzy says Jensen ain't coming back. Don't resign Pavetta. Garcia shouldn't come back. Red Sox would give Sims a 1 year deal. Martin should come back. Darren says Red Sox, Angels, Mets, and I forgot the other three teams that Arenado said he would go to. Fitzy also says he doesn't want the Sox to re-sign Hill for the 20th time, and Keller shouldn't come back. Stephen K, what's up? Love it. Met fans coming back. What's going on, Stephen? What's up? Sorry, I haven't been around. Was moving. All right, that's all right, man. We haven't done much baseball content here, so I want to start mixing in some of these shows as well. Look, I mean, doing a little baseball content on a Sunday at 12:30 in the afternoon and got 30 people here. I don't get that for football or hockey live stream. So, got to start mixing in some baseball stuff here. So I know a lot of you guys hang out in either Rob or CP's chat. I'm always in CP's chat. Not I shouldn't say always, but never in Rob's chat. Not a big fan. So Fitzy's Met fans, Fitzy's a Red Sox fan. They got Crochet. I know a lot of Met fans wanted him. Fitzy, I know Fitzy was a little upset that they traded one of his guys. But yeah, man, 4 of their top 15 prospects. Now they're a team that could do it. They have a great farm system. Now, if the Mets would have done that, that would have kind of put a hurting on their farm system. So, but they were in talk. So I think the Mets will make some moves here with trading. Bruce says we got a chance in baseball, not this year in football, right? Oh man, it's bad. It's bad, and that's why I'm not doing football today. The games here are horrendous. Dallas and Carolina on Fox at 1 o'clock. And Baltimore and the Giants on CBS. I'm like, no thanks. Fitzy says the Sox have a top 10 farm system. For a while, they can make those types of trades. Yeah. Let's see if this will work if I do this. MLB farm systems. Farms ranked. Here we go. Oops. Farm system rankings in 2024. Yo, Stoney, what's going on, bud? Thanks for doing this. This is awesome. Absolutely, buddy. Going to start doing some more of these. I don't like the fact that ads play when I do this. So let's try it. Steven says, Soto was a great pickup. Now we need to get good pitching and good bats, and we could go all the way in 25. I have a feeling. Yeah, absolutely. Still going to need some help. Right now, I don't know. I know a lot of Philly fans are down. How would you, right now, Met fans, how would you rank it? Mets, Braves, Phillies. Last year it was the Phillies, Braves, Mets. How would you rank it? Right now I have us second, but I still can't decide who's first and third. I personally prefer Bregman over Alonso. There you go, DR. I understand that too, but Bregman over Alonso, but then that's putting Vientos at first, and you're going to be okay with that? I don't know. I don't know. Or no, because you're not gonna get rid of Vientos unless you DH him. Because if you go out and sign a guy like Goldschmidt or Christian Walker to play first for a year, what do you do with Vientos? But you could DH Vientos, and you still have him as an option if you're not unable to get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. the following offseason. I'm happy though they didn't trade Mayer or Anthony for Crochet. That would have made me trade a lot worse. Yep. Yeah, Rob scared me away. I go on CP's channel now. Yep. We take the division outright this year. Those other monkeys are second fiddle. Darren says Orioles might be in competition for Castillo, maybe even Minaya against the Mets. Yes. And the only reason I'm not worried about Alonso is because Alonso and Boris have said the Mets have not, they can go out, get their best offer, and they'll go back to the Mets. And if the Mets will either say yay or nay. So, all right, let's look. Let's look at some of the farm systems while you guys are still chatting it up here. Right now they have, this is from MLB.com. This was after the 2024 season. So I don't know if it's updated for some of the trades that have happened. They have Tampa Bay first. Top 100 prospects, Junior Caminero, Carson Williams, Xavier Isaac, Braden Taylor. 2, the Minnesota Twins. The Twins at number 2. The Orioles still number 3. Man, the Orioles. Now, Jackson Holiday did come up and get some playing time last year. Kobe Mayo. I know Oriole Birdwatcher, or permanently temporary, as some of you guys might know in the chat here. He's a big fan of Mayo. Stephen K says, I was just getting to that comment if we got Vlad for 26. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. That's why they're in no rush to bring Alonso back, honestly. And like I said, even though it agitates me, they call it the hot stove. We're still only halfway through December here, so. Bruce says, keep Pete, get Bregman, bring on your prospects for their chance to make a difference. Yeah, we'll look at the Met prospects here in a second. Baltimore's 3. Cleveland's 4. Dodgers have a good farm system. Tigers are 6th. Boston 7th now, but I don't know if that includes the trade. Let's see, who did Fitzy say? Fitzy said something up here before about glad they didn't trade somebody. I'm happy though they didn't trade Mayor Anthony. Oh, there you go. So Mayor's their number 5 prospect. Anthony's number 14. Oh no, it's not updated because they traded Teal and Montgomery. That's where they rank in the top 100 MLB prospects, number 27 and 59. I see us ranked 2 in our standings. Braves 1, still because they're still stacked. Yeah, and that's probably why I would lean with the Braves as well. All the injuries from last year. That needs to be updated. Montgomery and Teal was part of that trade. Yeah, it's from MLB. So Andrew says trade for Vlad now and give him an extension. It's a possibility, especially since he turned down the contract. Cubs are 8th. Steven says, I want Mets to keep Acuna. He did fantastic in the regular season. Yeah, short sample size, but I agree. I think any team that calls and says they want Acuna, I'm sorry. He's not part of the deal. I'd rather. I know there's some Met fans that would say I'm crazy. I would rather trade Jet Williams than Acuna. Probably because I've seen Acuna play now. And technically, I've never seen Williams play. I don't watch minor league baseball. So Seattle's number 9. The Nats are number 10. Keep the speedy ones. Stoney says, I hope Marte gets traded. Why's that, Stoney? I figured Marte was going to be our DH this upcoming year. The Chicago White Sox are 11th. The Chicago White Sox, 11th minor league system. Worst record in baseball in ever. And what, they got the 11th pick? Like they somehow forfeited because they spent too much money? They weren't able to get a top pick? The Rockies are 12th. There we are. There's our Mets. Number 13, Sproat. Any Met fans, would you be willing to trade Sproat? I probably would have traded Sproat in the Crochet deal if the Mets would have gotten Crochet. I would not trade him. I would not trade Sproat in Castillo deal. But Jet Williams, Drew Gilbert, Ryan Clifford. Just his age and hurt. Yeah, well, he's not going to be our right fielder anymore. So we don't have to worry about that. He'll be our DH. So let me keep this up here and see if I can bring up this other website that I use for prospects as well. Let me bring the Mets up. Oop, that's the Brewers. Don't want the Brewers. Now here's a question, John. You want Winker back? Yes, I want Winker back as a left-hander off the bench who could fill in. I could give Nimmo a day. Well, you're not really going to put him in for Nimmo because they're both left-handed. You could DH Soto a day and put Winker out and right. You could DH him. So, all right, let me switch this up and put this one up here as well. I got to readjust that to put that on there, but so they have. I go to a website called Prospect361.com. It's a guy who's a former scout, and he ranks where he sees all these players. Is Stewart still on our team? I hope not. No, he is not. I hope. Steven says they might call up Clifford as a stopgap because he played first base. Have to see he's got pop. And that's what Stern said in one of the last press conference I watched. He goes, "We got to get some guys that are going to be MLB ready to come up, and we're going to, see what they can do." So Alonso might not come back, but Jet Williams here. This guy says Jet Williams highest level so far is AAA. ETA is either this year, this upcoming season, or 2026. Top 40 outfielder with upside. He's a toolsy player, walking as much as he strikes out. Unfortunately, he missed most of the 2024 season with a wrist injury. It did not help. He had surgery, did not return. Oh, he did return late in the year and struggled. That I did not know. But Sproat, our best pitching prospect. You think it's too early to bring Gilbert up? I think. Well, I don't know. Hey, you bring him up for spring training, right? You let him play in some training camp games. You test it from there. It sounded like Stearns when I was watching the press conference. He's going to want to give these guys a shot at contributing to the ball club. So maybe see, that's what I don't want to do. If I'm going to bring these guys up, they can't sit. Is the problem? These young kids need to play every day. So if it's better for them to be in the minors, they need to be in the minors. I think Sproat will be brought up after the All-Star break, unless they trade him. Darren says, I would like defensive improvement at third. Make Vientos DH and put Pete at first, or get Peterson for DH and split at first, or get Peterson for DH and split time with Marte against lefties, or bring back Winker. Love it, Darren. Love it. Agreeing. Dan saying, yo, 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 what up? Actually, it's December and we're almost at Christmas. It's ho, ho, ho. But let's see. Let's talk about Sproat here, or what Rich here from Prospect 361 says. The Mets drafted Sproat in the second round in 2023. Anticipated debut in 2024. Blew through high A and double A, pitching to a 2.05 ERA. Let's go. Welcome in. In August, the Mets promoted him to AAA, but he struggled. He pitched to a 7.53 ERA in 7 starts, with a strikeout rate nearly cut in half. What happened? He's a power sinker. Oh, what happened? He's asking. He's a power sinker pitcher, and usually sinker-led pitchers have more muted strikeout rates. Plus, sometimes the stuff doesn't work, and in a small sample size, it can lead to a 7.53 ERA. I don't think the Mets want to make Vientos a DH. I agree. I kind of agree with Dan here. I don't think they want to do that either. Sony says, we have Mauricio coming off injury, too. I love Mauricio. I do, too. But it was concerning. I don't know if you guys watch all the Stearns pressers. He's not doing any baseball activity yet. So unless that has changed, I'm still worried about Mauricio. In reviewing StatCast data, the Arsenal looks solid. His fastball averages 96, tops at 99. But he has more characteristics of a two-seamer than a four-seamer. His best secondary pitch is a changeup, and then he throws that for strikes. It could be swing and miss pitch for him. His curveball has improved the most, but in AAA was not missing bats. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, Gilbert next, and then we'll get to Mauricio there, Stoney. Drew Gilbert, outfield, AAA. I do have an autographed rookie card of his here somewhere. I think I packed it up when I moved all this stuff behind me. Gilbert missed a big chunk of the season recovering from a hamstring injury. He finally got back on the field in mid-July and never got it going. In 56 games in AAA, he slashed .215, but he hit 8 home runs. He believes there's more in the tank than what he showed, but he's still more of a high floor player than a star. He controls the strike zone well despite average chase and end zone contact rates. Maybe a 15-15 type player. Steven says, I think McNo-Hits might be traded this year if he doesn't get his act together. McNo-Hits. Oh, man. All right, Stoney. Let's look at your boy Mauricio here. Did not play last year. Unfortunately, going into the year, it looked like he was going to be the everyday third baseman. And then he got hurt. Fantasy ceiling, top 15 second baseman or top 10 third baseman. Whoa. Yeah, blew out his ACL. Yep. There's plenty of fantasy goodness. I'm not worried about fantasy stats. 18.5% strikeout rate in AAA was his best. While he could post a 2020 season, it could come with pressure on his batting average. Now, Acuna played in the majors. I don't know why he's... because technically he's still a rookie, so... Because he did not get enough at bat, so he still qualifies as a minor leaguer. After 6 years in the minor leagues, he's fast, a chance of 30-plus steals, makes excellent contact. Only a 16.4 strikeout rate. I'll take that. Power will not be part of his game. That's what we were told. And what he I think he hit 2 home runs, right? In his 20 at bats. He can play all over this field and spent time in 24 in center field, shortstop, and second base. That's why you don't trade a guy like Acuna. You can turn around and trade McNeil now. If Acuna could do that, that's exactly what Jeff McNeil can do. I'll take Acuna's upside over McNeil. I've seen McNeil enough now. Tong, not too familiar with Tong, only in AA. That's something I got to do a better job of this year, guys, is doing minor league prospect checks. Ramirez, not familiar with him either. Bruce says, keep the speedy ones. Exactly, younger version of McNo-Hits, except younger. So we'll see. Let me come back and check Twitter. My phone hasn't blown up, so passing or nobody's tweeting. Ken Rosenthal tweeted out about his podcast. That's it. Bruce says, speed thrills the crowds. Yes, it does. So good stuff today, everyone. We'll probably only go up until kickoff here at 1 o'clock. But maybe we start doing these Sunday morning noon shows or Sunday afternoon noon shows. Fitzy says it would be nice if Burns signed during the stream. Yes, it would. I remember when Sean and I first started. It wasn't our first stream. Jeremy from Jets Chaos was on our live stream with us. And we were talking about NFL free agency, and Devontae Adams got traded to the Raiders during our stream. This was a day or two ago. I heard Mauricio was taking early activities. I can't remember who said it, though. But if he is, that's great news. Yeah, absolutely, Stoney. Because a month or so ago, maybe not a month ago, but it was the end of the season press conference with Stearns when Stearns was saying he wasn't back to baseball activities yet. So let's see here. That was the end of October. So November. Oh yeah, so we're halfway through December, so a month and a half ago. Bruce says Sundays are nice for this. Let's go. All right, we'll start doing these on Sundays then. What about Framber Valdez? Although he's only got 1 year on his contract, and Stearns likes controllable pitching assets. Yes, I would do it, depending on what they would have to give up. Let me come over and look. MLB teams West Astros. I don't have it on the screen here, but I'm just looking up Valdez's information here. Framber Valdez. Oh, let's look here. Yeah, he is a free agent after next year. Or yeah, after next season. So yep, arbitration this year. So the only way let's see, he's 31 years old, so I'm not giving him a long term. The Mets aren't going to give him a long term deal anyway. You know what it was? It was Stearns that said this. Since you mentioned it, this was a couple days ago, so you was right on Stearns. Yeah, I remember Stearns did say, but I had to remember when he said it wasn't baseball activity, and that was back in October after they lost to the Dodgers. So good stuff, Met fans. You guys showing up today on a Sunday. Let's go. So let me come back to my other thing that we started with the Soto news. So I don't know. Were you guys? I know I saw a lot of you guys over in CP's chat after the news broke. But I don't know if you guys saw. Do you guys watch the Rico Bronya podcast? If you don't, it's a must. It's um, what's his name from WFAN? Man, losing my train of thought here. Patrick says Astros want teams to overpay because their players are more popular than they are good. Well, and I think that's what Met fans are doing with Alonso. They want the Mets to give him whatever he wants because he's more popular with the fan base than he is on the baseball field. Oh, Evan Roberts. There you go. Thank you, man. Watch it. Evan is the guy. Yes, I absolutely love the Rico Bronya podcast. I don't listen to his radio show. I can't stand Tiki Barber, so I don't listen to that. But yeah, those guys were live when the Soto news broke, so that was awesome. There was four of them on. Evan was on. Pete was on. The guy that's always doing the podcast with him. Sal Licata was on, and somebody I didn't know who the other guy was. He's a true Mets fan like us. He wrote a book. I don't know if you guys. I have not read the book, so I might get it. It's on my Christmas list. So we'll see. We'll see if we get it this year. But I think Mrs. PAS already bought my present. How about Jared Jones or Mitch Keller of the Pirates? I don't think they would trade Jones because I believe the Mets have already called and asked about Jones, and they pretty much said no. I don't know about Keller though. Let's get rid of some of this stuff here. Let's slide the chat over so we can see the numbers here. Okay, good. So yes, I mean Valdez is an option. Dylan Cease, what would you guys think? I know Dylan Cease is an option. I was watching that podcast when the news broke. Yeah, it was awesome. That's awesome. You're getting a present from your wife. I might get one for my girlfriend. I hope she gets me one too. I told her no presents because we just paid for new living room furniture, so I told her nothing. So she's like, "Well, I got to get you something." So I don't know. We'll see. We like to save up for vacations, and then we go away for like a week. Who are some other pitchers that could be possibilities? Cease. Let me go to the Padres and look up Cease. I don't know why the Padres would do that though. And a new fridge also. Yeah, right. Good call, Stoney. Nothing like Fridgegate. What was it? Fridgegate was game 2 of the Mets Brewers. What was the other one? I think it was a Browns game. I think it was a Thursday night football game. I was watching one of the Mets casts. They flipped out, crying like grown men. I'm confused where all this Cease news came from. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to the spot track page for the Padres here. I feel sorry for the Yankee fans that lost Soto. Not. How about Luzardo? Yeah, he's with the Marlins, right? We'll look at Luzardo next. Cease still has a couple years of. Let's look here. Oh no, he's a free agent after this year, so no. I was going to say he's got years of control left, but he does not. Castillo is up for trade. Yes, Castillo is a guy I would trade for, depending on what Seattle wanted. I'm not overpaying for him. Fitzy says Fitzy would know. Fitzy filled in for me both times. Fridge Gate was the Mets playoff game, and Circuit Breaker Gate was the Brown Steelers. Robert, what's up? Let's go. How about the picture, Devin? Guy from the Brewers going to the Yankees. Pete owns them. Yankee fans are out of control, man. I mean, they thinking the two guys they got better was getting Soto. No, the Yankees are going to make the playoffs no matter what they do. They're in a weak American League East. Sorry, Fitzy. They're in a weak American League. I mean, outside the East is the best, and then outside of that, I mean, teams are horrendous. So the Yankees are always going to be in contention for the World Series, but they're picking up guys that have horrible playoff stats. Look at Williams in the playoffs. He's got over a 20 ERA. No thanks. Fitzy says agreed. Let's go, Mets. What's up, Ray? So Cease is a guy I would trade. I'm not giving up too much though because he's not under control after this year, and he is a Boris client. So not that that's a bad thing. I mean, Soto's a Boris client, so no thanks at all. Still can't believe Tucker went to the Cubs. Wow. Well, I knew they weren't trading Tucker to the Yankees. Yankees wanted him so bad. I don't think Tucker would have played for the Yankees. AL East has been the toughest division in the AL for the last few seasons. Okay. Ray says the Mets need to get Cease and Machado, and I did hear both are available. So let me start putting some of these names down, guys. Let's take a look here. We got Luzardo, we got Lopez. So I mean, if you're gonna go after Cease and Machado, let me see. I just looked up Cease. He's got 1 year left. What's Machado got? And Machado is a third baseman. So let's look. He's under contract until 2033. He'd still be under contract through the 2033 season. Yikes! How about Pablo Lopez? Yep, I wrote him down. We'll get to him. Blockbuster trade. Screw Alonso. No, no, not how Soto got screwed by the Yankees. I don't think Tucker wanted to go there as well. Exactly. Patrick says Yankees begging Cubs for Bellinger, who's the third highest strikeout percentage all time in postseason history. Has a huge contract until he's 39. Yep, $39 million. But let's look. Actually, for this upcoming season, only 17 million. Only, only 17. Like it's not big money. I'm not signing Bregman to play him at first base. No. 2026, it's 25 million, and then it jumps up to 39 million from 2027 to 2033. So Yankees need to take a step back and rebuild their farm. Agreed. Dan says love Machado, but not with that contract. Right? Agreed. Vlad at first, then exactly. Yeah, exactly, Stoney. That's why there's a lot of people that think, you know what, if he's turned that down, you got to trade for him because he's going to want to test free agency. So if you're the Mets, okay, you're going to have to give up some prospects. But if I'm giving up who they want, I'm going to need to sign them to extension. And I'll give Vladdy. Vladdy's only 26. I'll give him not as much as we gave Soto. I'd give him over 500 million. Robert says I heard rumors of Arenado in the Mets. Arenado's name came up. We'll take a look at his contract. I don't know what he's got left. Arenado did list the Mets as one of the teams he would go to. I'd like some young guns with rocket arms for the outfield. Fitzy says I would trade for Vlad. It would be worth it. Uncle Steve's got this. Stoney agrees. 500 million here as well, John. Yep. Arenado is finished. Who's Vladdy's agent? I don't know. Let me look up. I can look that up right here. Spot Track will tell me that. Yep, arbitration 4, so he'll be a free agent after this year. Agent, where's the agent? Agent Barry Praver from the Magnus Media. So, don't know, not too familiar with them. Arenado has some good defense, but it's getting older and his stats are decreasing. Arenado only hit 16 home runs last year, and he's due 32 million. No, definitely not paying. Definitely not trading for that. Then, okay. After next year, I think Arenado's contract declines, but 32 million next year for a 16 home run guy. Soto's got an arm in the outfield. Yeah, but guys, we're going to take a hit in our outfield defense. I hope you do know that. Let's look up Arenado here. See what that contract is. Nolan Arenado. What year? We're going into 2025, right? Nimmo is overrated. Trade him with McNeil. I thought about that, Ray. I thought about doing that, trading both of those guys, and then I would go out and I would sign Anthony Santander to play right field, and you can move Soto to left field. Nolan's 31, but let's see here. His contract's not too bad. Arenado. Nolan Arenado. 21 this year, 16 next year, and 15 in 2027. And he's 33. Nolan Arenado's 33. Soto needs backup work in the outfield. Nimmo is homegrown. Yep, he's 33, says Fitzy. Yep. So he's a guy I would take also. The Yankees are in on everybody just because they're overreacting. Nimmo sucks. Well, Nimmo was hurt last. Now, this is a bad job on the Mets. He was hurt. They should have let him sit. Any thoughts on Christian Walker playing first for the Mets? It's got to be a 1-year deal because the Mets are going to want to go after Vladdy next year. And I don't think he wants a 1-year deal. So if it's going to be a 1-year deal guy to play first base, give me Goldschmidt for a year. Santander is one of the poorest defenders in baseball. What are you thinking? If Alvarez hits 212 with 10 homers, I want him gone. If Alvarez doesn't, not only that, Ray, agree with you there. If he doesn't work on his catching abilities, man, my goodness. Stop trying to be a goaltender behind the plate. Stop the ball. How many base runners were allowed to advance last year because he doesn't know how to backhand the ball? Yeah, the Yankees are in on every big name. Pass balls galore. Oh, I thought that was Twitter. It's not. Batting. Where's fielding? He's got a great arm and a right, but his range is not very good. Fielding. Here we go. Oh, good call. Yeah, I mean he's a -3 in run value, so good call there. Or give me Christian Walker if we can't get Pete. I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait for Vladdy. I'd rather either take Vientos at first and sign a third baseman, or what else could you do? Or sign like Goldschmidt for a year, just to hold it down. His catching was atrocious. Yeah, I just looked it up. Yep. So for that case, yeah, you're only getting him for his offense then. I'm not huge on Nimmo either, but he's okay for only $20 million. Don't play. It looks like a star, but doesn't play one. Like what? Nimmo is making Conforto Profar money for his skill set. He's fine. They should trade Beatty. Yup, agree. No Vlad. Why no Vlad? Yeah, same here for Vlad. And Nimmo's plantar fasciitis is going to still be an issue. Absolutely. All right, let's look at some of the other guys you guys were talking about. Luzardo, he's on the Marlins. Let's see what kind of control he's got left. I don't know what it's going to take to get him. You're probably going to have to give up some prospects depending on salary. So, an estimate of only about $9 million this year in arbitration, and you'd have him next year as well. So, he's a guy I would absolutely do. Ryan Clifford, yeah, we talked about Clifford moving to first, maybe. Bruce says they say Soto's the next Ted Williams. Maybe that plate discipline will teach the rest of the team to make them. Yep, I would want Castillo. But I'm not overpaying prospects for these guys. I know a lot of these teams are going to want a bunch of prospects. I'm not giving up a bunch of prospects. Castillo, maybe. I might overpay a little bit for Castillo because you have him under control for what, 3 or 4 years? But Luzardo, I would take. You got him under control for 2 seasons. Please don't say Beatty. I don't like Beatty at all. So Soto looked a little pudgy at that pouch. You better stop, dude. It was just the way the jersey was. Looked pudgy. Did you see him when he stood up and it was actually straight down? He says yes. Give them Beatty as a start. No, they're not. No, it's going to take more than Beatty. No, he was fat. You're fat. Take a break, dude. Everything the Mets do and everything the Mets have done, you're against. So go hang out in the Yankee stream, dude. Where am I looking? Seattle. I want Seattle. Let's go back over to Castillo. Start running the bases. You won't be fat long. It was just the way the picture was taken. It made him look fat. Castillo. Let's see how far Castillo is under contract for. Who's Rafa Nieves? Republic Sports is his agent. He's under contract for 25, 26, and 27 at 24 million. I would absolutely do that with a vesting option for 28. Absolutely. Depending on what they want in return, sign me up. Sign me up for Castillo. Or don't eat late at night and he'll lose weight. Soto didn't look fat in the hot tub. Right, exactly. But that guy Ray's going off of one picture. Yeah, going off of the one picture with the jersey on and clothes on underneath it, but the guy's in the hot tub celebrating. He's fit as can be. It's how we feel about Beatty, how the Mets felt about Jeff Kent in the 90s. Fitzy says, I'm no Mets fan, but the Mets should go after Castillo. Alcantara? I don't know if they trade Alcantara. Isn't he coming back from injury? Let's see what his deal is here. CAA Sports. Oh no, he's under contract. Only 17 million. He's 29 with a club option in 2027. There you go, Darren. Yep, I doubt the Marlins trade Alcantara. Plus, he's recovering from Tommy John. So, I don't know. Let me just check Twitter one more time. My baseball guys all tweeting. Oh, here's another thing, guys. That was a topic of conversation between Met and Yankee fans. Soto left first and foremost for the money, which we all knew. We all knew all season long. I was saying, you guys were here. Soto's going to the team that offers him the most money. But are the Mets actually a better destination for the near future than the Yankees? I think yes. With our farm system, um, and we know Stearns. We saw what Stearns could do in Milwaukee with drafting. That Fitzy's saying yes just because he's out of the American League East. So nothing much going on baseball wise, guys. But thank you all so much for showing up today. Wasn't sure how this was going to turn out doing a baseball stream here on an NFL Sunday. We have 23 likes on the stream. Let's go. Bruce says Soto was interested in the farm system. Yes, he was. Fitzy says Yankees are always going after the aging stars. Mets have a bright farm system and better young talent. Jason Dominguez is their top prospect. Cashman said Alex Verdugo gave them a better chance at winning. I don't think they're happy with Dominguez, honestly. But we'll see. But yeah, guys, because of the turnout today, we'll definitely start doing more of these MLB streams here, talking Mets. I know there's plenty of options out there for you guys to do that with Wardy, with CP, even if you follow Rob. So thank you so much for hanging out with us a little bit today. Yep, I just talked about Luzardo. I just talked about him, Stoney. So good stuff, everyone. I'm going to go grab some lunch, enjoy some football today. If there's any Mets breaking news, I'll post a video, maybe even go to a live stream. But, man, we'll definitely be back at least next Sunday at the same time. If you guys are going to show up like this, we're definitely going to do more of these shows. Hopefully get Fitzy to come on every once in a while. Yeah, my next live stream will be tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. If you guys want to hang out and talk just sports, I'll talk Mets during the football broadcast. So good stuff, everybody. Yep, Fitzy says see you tomorrow night. Yes, sir. Love the PAS. Have a good day, Dan. Kind of busy. Take care, John. Yes, great job. Thank you, Darren. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have fun at work this week. If you're in the Northeast here, be careful. We're supposed to get some snow tonight, so just be careful. And we'll see everybody next time.